Hi, everybody. This is the inaugural, hopefully not only episode of Homebrew Review, where we're going to talk about homebrew. My name's Aspen,
My name is Sai.
and we're just two idiot queers who like wizards. Not the class, but in general.
I like wizards.
I don't like the wizard class.
Well, we'll talk about that some other day. We'll publish our sword fight to the death.
Oh, is that how strongly you feel about wizards?
I just like funny little wizards casting spells and shit.
Boring ass motherfuckers. So anyway, we are talking today about the Martial Ranger, a reimagining of the Ranger class without spellcasting, created by the homebrew creator Agender Arcee, who has also made some other cool stuff that if we ever did like a creator showcase, we could maybe look at. There's some martial archetypes, conclaves, artificer specialists. One of these documents is just called Anti-Paladin. And I'd love to look into that. A paladin variant class for edgelords and evildoers. So we're probably going to come back to you, Agender Arcee, but thank you for making cool content. Let's get right into the class. Do you have any opening thoughts?
We are both, like, staunch lovers.
Staunch what?
Like, ranger lovers.
Oh.
Ranger stands.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Ranger groupies.
Yes, I am currently playing a ranger even. Fey Wanderer Rabbit Folk, for anyone who's wondering.
I used to have a Gloom Stalker ranger. And I think, as of right now, that's the longest character that I've ever played.
Not for long.
Not for long!
For anybody wondering, I am a DM. Sai, you have been a DM before.
I've been a DM.
Yeah, but currently we are in a campaign that I am running, and you are playing a funny little artificer. But we're talking about rangers.
Thing. Okay.
But, yes, we're both big ranger stands. I don't want to just dominate the conversation, so what's
I really do like this class. I like, to be able to look at ranger without all the bells and whistles of spells. Even though I do really like all the bells and whistles of spells that Ranger has right now.
Well, and we now have a new list of more bells and whistles.
Right. This class has a lot of cool shit. There's a lot of shit in here that... What?
That's just not a great opening note.
It has a lot of cool shit.
Oh my god, the audio is fucking up. It sounded like you said bullshit.
Oh no, I said cool shit.
Okay, it sounded like you said...
This class is a lot of bullshit, and I hate it, and it's gross. Blech. No, it has a lot of cool shit. It has a lot of, there are a lot of things in this class that I, as someone who has played a ranger, have thought at one point or another, damn, shit would be a lot cooler if I had X thing. So I appreciate a lot of the features that it brings to the table. And I think flavor-wise, it does a lot of things for Ranger that should have been done in the first place for Ranger.
I feel very the same.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree that there are several specific class features in here that the fact that they are not in the official Ranger is baffling to me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the loss of spells I'm kind of torn on, because on the one hand, it takes away some of the flavor, you know?
Some of the mouthfeel.
Some of them, yeah, it just doesn't feel the same.
Right.
To not be able to do some magic. And
right.
I don't necessarily mean that Rangers are great with magic. Rangers, as far as spellcasters go, are like the least capable of using any form of magic or spellcasting.
Right.
And the spells they do have, Do we want to real quick just talk about the issues with Ranger spellcasting and the action economy?
Yes. Why does every cool shit that you get to do as a ranger need your bonus action and concentration?
Yes.
Why is that?
I would love to be able to have Hunter's Mark, Zephyr Strike, and Hail of Thorns going at the same time.
But you have to, like, pick and choose, and it's annoying. And, like, I'm not an octopus. I can't do all this shit at once.
Especially because, like, Hail of Thorns as a concentration bonus action, it would just, I think, be an objectively better spell if it was just in action and then it was done.
Right.
Similar
I agree.
Like Burning Hands, it's just in action, they make a saving throw or they get hit.
And that's it, and there's no big fucking hoorah.
Like, I can at least understand Hunter's Mark and Zephyr Strike both being concentration. It's disappointing, but I get it.
Yeah, because they don't want us to succeed.
I don't know that I would go that far.
Rangers are an oppressed class.
Well, Tasha's Ranger is pretty good.
Tasha's Ranger is really good, but it's reparations.
Yes. But so...
Restorative justice.
One thing that Tasha's added is the Favored Foe, which is pretty good because the base Ranger class Favored Enemy is pretty worthless.
Yeah.
I mean, you get some languages, and if you ever are tracking someone, that's fine, but beyond that, it's really not especially useful. So, the first thing that this new iteration of the Ranger class does is make Hunter's Mark a class feature.
Yes! Yes!
One that does not remove that does remove concentration even. Fuck! Did you know that I'm incapable of speech? Fight me.
Fight you?
No fights.
Oh.
We can't. The audio quality. Hey, everybody listening to this. I'm gonna edit out stuff like, dead air and as much misspeaking as I am able to, but this is gonna be a bad thing for your ears. And I'd just like to apologize in advance.
We're like, here's our little podcast, and it's just us, like, rubbing sandpaper together at the mic for 45 minutes.
Reverse ASMR.
RMSA.
So the Ranger class is this new idea of the Ranger class is a wisdom-based martial class. No spellcasting except for one subclass similar to the Eldritch Knight. It's just a unique martial class, which I am very into the idea of it. I like spellcasting, but I do feel like sometimes classes with spells will miss out on unique features and just gain, like, spell slots. I'm looking at you, Wizard. Spells are cool, but I personally prefer unique class features. And that's all the Martial Ranger, baby.
Raw dogging the Ranger experience. Sorry.
I brought up how Hunter's Mark is a class feature, so let me talk about that. It is, just as a bonus action, you designate a target as your prey, because it is now called Hunter's Prey and not Hunter's Mark. I don't dig the name change, but I do dig the fact that you can do this a number of times per long rest as featured on the Martial Ranger class table. You start with 2 and go up to, at level 20, unlimited uses, which is very cool. But this feature gives you the same old regular Hunter's Mark stuff. 1d6 to damage, advantage on checks and rolls to try and track them, and when you defeat something, you can pass the designation over. It's just so good to have it as a class feature. It doesn't mention concentration, which means finally I can have Zephyr Strike or Hail of Thorns active at the same time. It's just nice. would you like to say something?
Yeah, I think that anyone who's ever played a ranger is probably looking at this and going, "Shit, that's so sexy." Because, good God, this needed to be a class feature like yesterday.
I 100% agree, especially because level 1 rangers before Tasha's existed, you're going to be kind of useless at level 1. Mm-hmm. Favorite enemy offers very little benefits. You can gain advantage on survival checks to track them, intelligence checks to recall information about them, but honestly, at least in campaigns I've played in and DM'd, that simply doesn't come up that much. Mm-hmm. I like that you gain additional languages, but that's another thing. I've had entire campaigns where the DM just pretends everyone only speaks common.
Right.
And then Natural Explorer is a cool feature. You know, difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel, can't get lost, but a lot of campaigns, travel does not come up. Mm-hmm. So, like, the Ranger has always been a very specific, niche sort of class in terms of non-combat utility. And then Tasha's comes along, kill me. Tasha's comes along and says, here's favorite foe. It's weaker than Hunter's Mark, but, you know, it's free. It still requires concentration, so it is worse than Hunter's Prey and the Martial Ranger, but Deft Explorer is very dope. I like doubled proficiency bonuses, I like new languages, and later on, the movement speed bonuses and the second wind equivalent are very, very, very good. Mm-hmm. Do you have any, before we go through like a level by level breakdown, do you have any particular features you would like to speak about?
For the Martial Ranger?
Yes.
Well, we're going level by level, right?
No, I'm saying before we do that, just pick any level.
Oh, any fucking level?
Yeah, because we are going to go through it level by level, but just right now we're doing a little overview. Do you have favorites?
Yes.
Do you want...
Hello.
Is it the one that I think you're gonna say?
I think it's the one that you think I'm gonna say.
Hell yeah.
Which level is this? This is level 2.
Yep.
Level 2 is where you get the natural healer feature. This feature lets you roll a survival check, and depending on whichever terrain you picked as your favorite terrain, the DC changes. But essentially, you get to craft little healing poultices. And I'm a very big advocate for ways to heal that aren't potions and spells. And I feel like this was such a really cute, really sexy little addition. Because not everyone is going to want to play like a cleric or a bard. And I feel like it's important that other classes have options for healing that aren't just spending your bottom dollar on potions.
Yeah, Rangers get Good Berry and Cure Wounds, but it's the kind of thing that you only take to supplement, like, in case your healer is down or they're out of spell slots, because Rangers only get 3 spell slots. Mm-hmm. And because you need Hunter's Mark active to be doing good damage, you are not going to be healing unless it's dire fucking straits.
Right.
Healing poultices is such a cool idea. It is essentially just the ability to, during a long rest, craft slightly weaker healing potions. Mm-hmm. You can apply it to a creature as long as you have proficiency in survival or medicine, which means that even if you aren't the ranger who made them, as long as you know how to apply them, you can still use them. Costs an action. And they regain 1d6 hit points for every 2 levels you have in the class. The poison condition is removed. That's really good. Mm-hmm. I mean, 1d6 doesn't sound like a lot, but a level 1 wizard is going to have 6 hit points. So, and 1d6 for every 2 levels means, already at level 2, that's 2d6, baby. Level 4? I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It doesn't become 2d6 until level 4. I can't do math. But
at level 4, 2d6 healing as a ranger
is pretty good. Like, Cure Wounds...
That's not bad.
Cure Wounds cast at the first level is just 1d8 plus your spellcasting mod. And this is free and doesn't cost spell slots. So it scales with your level, not the spell slot you use. Plus, you produce a number equal to your wisdom mod. The character I'm playing is a level 4 ranger with a +3 wisdom. That would be 3 uses of 2d6 per long rest. That's pretty good.
That is pretty cash money.
And one problem I've always had with rangers is that because spellcasting is not that great for them, you're not super incentivized to put points into wisdom. Like, you're going to put most of your points into dexterity so you can use a finesse weapon or, like, a ranged weapon. And then spells are just going to be a little extra thing. And because of that, any spell that requires, like, a saving throw, you're not going to use because your spell save DC is going to be too low.
Right.
So the natural healer feature is a huge incentive to boost your wisdom modifier. And also it's just sexy. Like, the flavor that is lost in spells is brought back with the idea of being just a wild medicine maker foraging for herbs that you apply to your allies to heal them. So, very into it. Before we go into, level by level, do you want to talk about the favorite terrain boost?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it, or should I describe it?
I want to hear you describe it.
All right. Favorite terrain with this class is pretty standard. Pick a favorite terrain. While you're in it, you ignore non-magical difficult terrain. You can travel through it. Blah, 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 blah. But at 9th level, you get Favorite Terrain Master, which provides a bonus to you depending on what your favorite terrain is. And at level, I believe 10, let me double check. At 10th level and 17th level, you can add a 2nd and 3rd favorite terrain, meaning you can get up to 3 of these bonuses. The Arctic bonus gives you resistance to cold damage, and you don't suffer the effects of extreme cold, which is usually exhaustion. The Coast benefit is that your swimming speed increases by 10 feet, and you can hold your breath for up to 15 minutes. And at level 6, you get Roving, which means you'll already probably have a swimming speed of 5 feet. So with a coast favored terrain, that's a 45 speed for swimming. Desert is resistance to fire damage, and you don't suffer the effects of extreme heat, which is usually exhaustion. Climbing speed increases by 10 feet in the forest favorite terrain, and you ignore penalties to stealth checks from wearing medium armor. That second part I'm very into, because it lets you use good medium armor while still being stealthy, which is something that rangers... I mean, they're not as good as rogues, but, it's always good. The Grassland, flat 10 feet boost to walking speed. So you're Sonic the Hedgehog now. Like mountain favorite terrain, like the forest, gives you a climbing speed of 10 feet, or an increase by that amount, but it also gives you resistance to fall damage, which could be huge. Fall damage doesn't come up that much, but when it does...
It's in the mountains. When it does, it's in the mountain.
And when it hits you, this could be the difference between life and death.
That shit will kill you.
Swamp favored terrain is you gain resistance to poison damage and advantage on saving throws against poison. Poison is one of the weaker damage types, but a free resistance to it is just a flat good. It's the kind of thing where even if I know I'm not I'm never going to be in the swamp in a campaign, I'll grab it because it's a free resistance. Like, if this is a political intrigue campaign, I might take it just so I have the saving throws against being poisoned.
Yes.
And then Underdark, you gain dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. If you already have dark vision, its range is increased by 30 feet. Mm-hmm. Dark vision is pretty common, so you're probably getting that boost instead of the 60 feet total, but increased sight lines is never a bad thing.
And you touched on it so briefly, but what I love about these is that they make favored terrain a little bit less of a thing that will come up once and be useful once. Because part of the thing with like normal favored terrain is usually you'll only like reap benefits from it if you're in that terrain, but with these favored terrains, like you can take whatever skills your character would have learned in those environments anywhere, and they can be useful to you anywhere.
That is absolutely good. The thing I said about the swamp, you don't have to be in the Arctic to have that resistance. So right. If you're fighting someone who is using ice spells, but you're in the woods, you still have that resistance, which is very, very good. And favored terrain in a campaign where travel isn't really a feature is kind of a wash as far as features go. But now by like one level after this, at 10th level, you get to just pick 2 of these bonuses. So, I mean, what would you pick? I'm just curious to hear.
What would I pick? I mean, it depends on the campaign. If
like the Lost Mines of Phandelver, just your standard.
Lost Mines? Oh, yeah. I would definitely do Grassland. Because I'm always frustrated by it not being able to walk far enough.
I think I would probably pick Forest so that I can wear, like... I think Scale Mail is heavy armor, but something that
Scale Mail is medium.
Yeah, so I would be able to wear Scale Mail and have a 14 AC without that stealth disadvantage.
Yeah.
But they're both viable. They're both very good.
Exactly! I mean, you said, I would also just take Swamp, because that's a free resistance.
Yeah, and it's like poison advantage against, like, on saving throws to not be poisoned. DMs can kind of just do whatever the fuck they want when it comes to poisons, you know?
Yeah.
So, getting poisoned when you're sitting at a dinner table with a Baron could, like, leave you bedridden or taking 3d4 poison damage a turn.
Could, like, liquefy your insides.
It could give you the worst diarrhea.
Give you the shits.
So, now you're good. Do you have anything else you want to say before we go back and start at level 1?
About the base class features, no, we can just start back at level 1.
Alright, so this class also gets most of the same base features, 1d10 hit points, light, medium armor, shields, simple and martial weapons. Herbalism kit is a tool proficiency that is new to them, which I feel like they should have had it from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that I definitely thought Rangers always had that. Strength and dexterity saving throws, pretty much the same skills that you get to choose for perception, and the same starting equipment, but also with an herbalism kit. Hunter's Prey we already talked about. Do you want to tell the folks at home what Wilderness Expert's all about?
Wilderness Expert. Am I lost? No, I'm not. Okay. Wilderness Expert at first level gives you proficiency in nature and survival. And if you have already picked those skills, then you get expertise in those 2 skills, which for Ranger, I mean, duh.
Yeah, it's good because not only does it give you the chance to if you want to play a sort of unconditional ranger, maybe put like proficiency in stealth, put proficiency in medicine, insight, investigation. You are allowed to do that and maintain the classic ranger features. And if you just want to fucking lean hard into it, you can also do this.
Yes.
Favorite terrain we talked about. Fighting style is pretty much the same, although druidic... I think, is it druidic warrior or druidic fighter?
I think it's druidic warrior.
Alright. Druidic warrior is not here among the fighting styles, unfortunately. Which I understand, it's not a spellcast.
It's a martial ranger.
But I would love to have Shillelagh. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, Shillelagh would really fuck with this.
In a good way.
In a really good way. I just realized the connotation of that word.
Yeah, I say this shit fucks a lot, and people are like, what? What do you say? At level 3, something contentious happens, which is that you get your subclass and its features, and you get favorite enemy. As far as I am aware, there's no other class in D&D that gets subclass and class features at the same level.
No.
I could be wrong about this. I have been wrong before. I will be wrong again.
Wait. No. I think you are wrong. Vanilla Ranger gets primal awareness at 3rd level.
That's an optional feature, though.
Oh, so it doesn't count.
Well, wait. Am I an idiot? Oh, no. Primeval awareness and primal awareness both at 3rd level. They're not great. They're not great features. So can't be upset about that. But no, I am wrong. But there will be times later on in this class where they have a lot of features at one level. I mean, favorite terrain, Hunter's Prey, and Wilderness Expertise at level 1. That's a good deal of stuff. But so you get your
beefed up first level character.
Yes. And we will talk about subclasses at one point. Today is not that day. That's incorrect. But right now is not the time. Favorite enemy. It works pretty much how you think it will, up until the point that there's a very important sentence. Would you like to read the last sentence of the second paragraph for me, please?
When you roll initiative and can see an enemy that belongs to the chosen category, you can use Hunter's Prey without expending a bonus action designating an enemy.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really good. Not only, that's another thing that I think the class should have. If Hunter's Mark isn't going to be a class feature, let Hunter's Mark be free on favorite enemies or not take concentration on favorite enemies or both. It doesn't seem like that big a deal. But in my heart, it is, Mm-hmm. And also, advantage on saving throws against favorite enemies' characteristic innate abilities such as Dragon's Frightful Presence or Breath Weapon. Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
That's really also quite good. Pop on over to level 4, ability score improvements, martial versatility, that's some standard stuffs. Mm-hmm. Level 5, you get extra attack, and a new thing called
Martial Talent.
Getting 2 things at level 5 is also something that the Barbarian gets. So this isn't necessarily an imbalance within the new Martial Ranger, but it does make the fact that the fighter only gets extra attack stand out a little bit. Mm-hmm. It makes the fighter seem a little sad, but I'll say the first thing, martial talents, number 1, far shot. Double your ranged or thrown weapons, short and long ranges. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into that, folks.
360 no scope.
It lets you stay out of combat with your ranged weapon from even further. It's just good.
Yeah.
It's not game changing, but it's good.
She's cute.
She's a cute little feature.
The second one is Mighty Hunter. If you're wielding only one melee weapon, your hunter's prey damage increases by 1 die size. So from 1d6 to 1d8.
What's your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I have a lot of really strong opinions about people who go full melee on rangers. But if you,
I think a rapier wielding ranger with a shield can be pretty cool.
I disagree. Because the ranger's about range. If you're gonna just wiggle your sword, then go play a fighter.
You're definitely gonna not enjoy hearing me say this. Fighters make better rangers. In terms of archery, a fighter is just better at using ranged weapons than a ranger is.
No, that's fair. I think that the ranger should be better at ranging. And I think that...
I would also agree with that. Having a designated long range...
if you're having a long range class, then why do other classes do it better? Make it make sense.
Well, I think it's that a lot of people don't consider the ranger a ranged class at all. I disagree. I think I like the bow and arrow. I think should be defining about it, but
it ought to be. But if you are playing a mainly melee ranger, then this feature is pretty good.
Although it does bring up one thing that has always bothered me about Hunter's Mark, and kind of brings up something here, is that the damage die of 1d6 for Hunter's Mark and Hunter's Prey becomes obsolete eventually. Mm-hmm. It doesn't become obsolete for a while. 1d6 is never bad free damage, but you're going to reach a point where other classes are getting some crazy damage buffs, and the only way that you can increase your Hunter's Prey damage die is by taking this talent, which forces you to be a melee weapon user, or by taking a specific subclass. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, this class has no options for increasing the damage die. That sucks.
Yeah. Because it's definitely a thing that should scale better with you.
It's like, casting Hunter's Mark at a higher level only increases the duration. You do not get more damage dice. So, no. I don't think that makes this a bad martial talent, but it does, it does. It points out the fact that I think it should be different. Mm-hmm. Twin takedown. Two weapon fighting is okay. Now it's better. Mm-hmm. You can designate Hunter's Mark and attack twice in one turn. I like two weapon fighting. I think it works better in my brain for rangers, not rangers, my mistake, rogues.
Yeah.
Or, fighters. Because I imagine in my brain, paladins and barbarians are wielding two-handers, or paladins will have a one-hand and a shield. Fighters will have a one-hand and a shield. Rogues two-weapon, ranger bow and arrow. That's how it exists in my brain. And I know that's very stereotypical, but it's how I feel. Twin takedown just makes it better. I already said what roving did. Do you want to say Hunter's Instinct?
Hunter's Instinct comes at 7th level.
It sure does.
You get to add a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your wisdom modifier.
I like it.
I like it too. I have historically horrific luck with initiative rolls. So
It's true, I've played with you.
Any chance I get to get more initiative bonus, I will take with open arms.
It also just, I like that this, with Roving and the upcoming Wild Stride, in addition to Hunter's Instinct, makes this class very mobile. Mm-hmm. I think that's one thing, if you don't want the Ranger to specifically be using bows, crossbows, you want to be able to play melee and still have it stand out, the movement options are good. Mm-hmm. And Hunter's Instinct adds to that. It lets you get into the battle very quickly, and then with the addition of Roving's movement speed bonuses, you can position yourself exactly where you need to be before anyone has the chance to fuck you over for it. And like I mentioned, the upcoming Wild Stride, your movement is unaffected by all difficult terrain, including magical. You are a mobile class. You can just go where you want, and I like that a lot. Skipping past favorite train master, could you tell me, good friend, what that there says about 10th level?
At 10th level, you get Nature's Veil. You can add your proficiency to you can add your proficiency bonus to stealth checks made in your natural terrain, or double your proficiency bonus instead if you were already proficient in stealth. And you get advantage on stealth checks in your favorite terrain, and you can also hide as a bonus action in your favorite terrain. You cannot be tracked in your favorite terrain by non-magical means.
And hiding it as a bonus action is in any terrain, not just favorite.
Oh fuck!
Very good.
Oh fuck!
You fool.
Oh, fuck.
The base Ranger feature of hide in plain sight fucking sucks. You have to not only spend a minute to get it to work, like, plus 10 is good, but you can't move in any way, and you have to fucking press yourself up against a wall for it to work.
Right.
And the Nature's Veil replacement feature of becoming magically invisible, I actually do like that. And this version of Nature's Veil is very good. It's just a flat stealth bonus with hide as a bonus action. I can't decide which of these I like better. Because Nature's Veil, Tasha's edition, doesn't give you a stealth bonus. You can't hide as a bonus action, but you turn fucking invisible. It's very magical.
I think I might like Tasha's Nature Veil better, actually, now that I think about it.
Because
you can just be invisible.
Yeah, it's just, it plays into the magic aspect more, which I really like.
But this replacement makes sense for Martial Ranger because it's not magic-y anymore.
Yeah, and also hide as a bonus action in any terrain, and stealth proficiency, or doubled. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But also invisibility. Tireless Endurance. It's like Second Wind, but it's not.
Yeah, it's Second Wind, but it's not. And it comes a lot later.
Fellas, it's Second Wind, but it's not.
You heard it here first.
At 13th level, you persist through pain, exhaustion, and even near death. As an action, you give yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your wisdom modifier. You can use this action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all spended uses when you finish a long rest. And once you have this feature, whenever you finish a short rest, your exhaustion level, if any, is reduced by 1. Plus, you have advantage on death saving throws. Let's give the Ranger some bulk, yeah? Very nice, very necessary, very appreciated.
Necessary.
I like it. I like giving classes that don't have bulk the option to lean into the bulk. The exhaustion level is very nice, although I've never been in a campaign where exhaustion came up. Advantage on death saving throws is fantastic. And when you get temporary HP at lower levels, you're getting it in like the low single digits. So 1d10 plus your wisdom mod, that's pretty good.
That's solid.
Yes.
That could be life or death.
That could be life or death. And you know what else could be life or death? This next feature.
Split focus.
Hey, I'm gonna interrupt the podcast real quick.
Okay.
To read a Tumblr post that my friend Tony emailed to me.
Thank you, Tony. Emailed?
Yes. Man in a gorilla suit isn't an occupation in Hollywood like it used to be. What is the world coming to?
Damn. Man and a girl. Wait, what? Girl and a man.
Man in a gorilla suit.
Oh, man in a gorilla suit. I thought you said girl and a man. Nope, man and a girl in a suit.
Split focus.
Split focus! Split focus lets you do your hunter's prey on 2 motherfuckers at once. And you can have your hunter's prey on them simultaneously.
It was good.
It's good. I wish that... I mean, we touched on this earlier. I wish that it would fix your die for hunter's prey instead of giving you 2.
I am torn. Because the ability to split it is pretty cool. But also, like, hunter's prey, hunter's mark is something that flavor-wise just makes sense for one creature. So I also would prefer if you got a flat damage die increase here.
Yeah.
Also, 2 13th level features. Huh.
That's a little...
Huh.
I don't know, I feel like I'm juggling.
The thing where it increases to 3 at 17th level, I kind of feel like maybe it should have been pushed to 17th. But also made more robust. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe, let's go up ahead. You could toss an increase of Hunter's Prey damage die into Hunter's Instinct at level 7. And then push Split Focus to level 17 and make it another increase. So that way, there's better spacing out of the features, and Hunter's Prey scales with level in a way that is just a little bit more relevant. Because as a ranger, I am usually focusing on one target until it is dead. And I know that that is because of the way currently Hunter's Mark works, but I don't have any issues with it working that way. Split Focus is a good ability. I don't want anyone to misunderstand that, but I would prefer if I could speak, I would prefer if the damage die increased, because by the time you're at level 13, 1d6 it's been 1d6 since first level, unless you took a thing that locks you into melee. Killer Instinct's pretty cool. That's a game. It's a fighting game where you can play as a dinosaur.
I like dinosaurs. Did you know that they had feathers?
Yeah. They were just big birds.
Little birds.
Killer Instinct replaces the Feral Senses feature. Killer Instincts, you can strike the most evasive of enemies, even those hiding behind obscured visibility or magical protection. Your attack rolls against creatures marked as your prey cannot have disadvantage. Very cool. The feature it replaces is when you attack a creature you can't see, your inability to see it doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack rolls, and you are also aware of the location of any invisible creature, provided you aren't blinded or deafened and it isn't like hidden from you successfully. I am not sure which I prefer.
I think I prefer Feral Senses.
Yeah,
I feel like Killer Instinct just limits it.
The ability to not have disadvantage as long as you have Hunter's Mark active is good. But also, I don't know, at 18th level, and like, I guess if the enemy took the dodge action, you would still be able to hit it. I think mechanically speaking, they're equal, but the ability to detect invisible creatures is just so cool, like, contextually. Mm-hmm. Like, the ranger can just sense an invisible creature. I'm into it. And it's not exclusive to Hunter's Prey. Mm-hmm. Foe Slayer.
Foe Slayer! At 20th level, you can add your wisdom modifier to all attack rolls you make against creatures you mark with your Hunter's Prey.
That fucks.
That fucks.
I think by level... I mean, nobody ever gets to level 20. This is true. Mm-hmm. If you say you've played a level 20 character and it wasn't a one-shot, you're lying.
You're either lying or you started at, like, level 15.
Yes. If you played from level 1 to level 20...
You're lying.
You're 3,800 years old and you live in a crypt and you're the crypt keeper. But that's pretty good. With the way, like, you know, ability score increases go, I would hope to have a minimum +3 wisdom mod by then. I mean, that's a free +3 to all your attack damage.
That's pretty
forever.
cute. That's pretty cute.
I'm into it. It's just free damage, but I find it personally underwhelming. Specifically because...
It's a 20th level feature.
I got to level 20 for this.
I got to level 20 and all I got was this t-shirt.
Yeah, it's like... I mean, to be honest, I can't think of any class that gets a worthwhile 20th level capstone ability.
Because nobody gets to level 20, so what does it matter?
Yeah. And the version of this that the base ranger has sucks absolute horse shit.
Yeah.
Once on each of your turns, you can add this modifier. Has to be a favorite enemy. Mm-hmm. So it's just worse in every way. So this is an upgrade, definitely. But I think it could be a little bit more just for the fact that it's level 20. Like, maybe if it also, for the sake of calculating this damage only, made your wisdom mod +1. Or maybe if it just straight up made your wisdom score +1. But at level 20, I would hope for a little bit more, especially because there's better features earlier in this class.
Mm-hmm. But like, even if you're like in the shit for the long haul, I mean, chances are you're gonna multi-class.
Yeah. I mean...
Because nobody really values their 20th level feature all that much.
Oh yeah, after like 13th level, I'm gonna multi-class.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct is nice. Foe Slayer is a cool like little boon. But if I haven't multi-classed by level 13th, it's because I expect that 13 will be the time that we are finished playing. Mm-hmm. But I give this homebrew... I don't like giving things ratings, like numbers or scores. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give this a B out of 10.
A B? Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel this is... B.
It's good.
It's good.
I don't think... I would play this class.
Yeah, me too.
And, like, I don't think that it is necessarily better than the original Ranger.
It's different.
It's different. I mean, honestly, I just lied to your face, Sai, because
what?
Hunter's Prey being a class feature and healing poultices... It is kind of better. It is kind of better.
It is kind of better.
Like, most of our issues... It's not
better, but it's better.
Most of our issues with it are kind of nitpicky.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people just take the Ranger as a, like, subclass for 1 or 2 levels so that you can get some, like, skills and languages on classes like Barbarians that don't get those. I could take just 2 levels of ranger and be set.
Yeah. This would be a really sick class to multi-class into.
As D&D currently stands, I am a ranger player. I would like to play all my favorite subclasses before even thinking about moving to a different class. Mm-hmm. But I do like multi-classing into druid. Mm-hmm. I would reverse it with this class. I would be focused on druid, but take 2 levels of ranger.
Just that little dip.
Just a little dip.
Because, like, that's when you get all the sexy shit.
Yeah, Hunter's Prey and Healing Poultice. And maybe if I really wanted to focus on, like, how there's a player in our current campaign who is pretty much just a shillelagh user. Mm-hmm. If that was how I was going to do my builds, I would definitely get to 3rd level for the favorite enemy and free Hunter's Prey.
Yeah.
And you could make a melee druid who is still capable of good healing. Mm-hmm. So this is a good class, and I love it, actually.
Yeah.
I think as it goes, I get less and less excited.
Because I like the shit that it gives you. Dare I say it, I think we get too many things.
I would agree with you. I think, I mean, I said it. You could do the thing with split focus. Break it up. Combine it with 2 other things. Martial talents. You could probably shove somewhere else or just take out. I'm not really crazy about it. But up to level 9, I really just straight up love this new class. Everything after level 9, I like Tireless Endurance, but other than that, after level 9, the features don't really excite me. Mm-hmm. But I mean, 10, half of it is great, and the other half is still mechanically very good. I'm just not flavor-wise obsessed with it. So that's pretty good. That's a good track record.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
I think now that I've said all these things I just said, I think I might scoot it up to a B+. Now it's time. Ooh. What's up?
I was going to say, I was about to disagree with you, and then I remembered the subclasses. So maybe let's talk about the subclasses.
Yes. Okay. Subclasses are good.
Some of these are just the, like, regular subclasses that Ranger already has, but with, the little magic-y bits taken out.
Do you want to go in order of starting with the coolest shit and working our way back, starting with the shit we don't care about and working our way towards the cool shit, or going in order of them being presented?
Let's just go in the order they're presented.
Okay. Hunter is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Hunter didn't ever get any additional spells. So
we don't really feel like... I don't feel like we need to talk about Hunter.
Hunter is the same. I'm literally looking up right now if anything different happens. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. If you liked the Hunter, you'll like this Hunter. I have nothing else to say. Are we moving on?
Yeah.
I'm going to read my notes, which is, I think that the idea of martial talents feels like it's taken from the Hunter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those feel like things that they had in mind for the Hunter but couldn't fit in. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Hunter is just like, it's more Ranger.
Is Ranger the sequel?
Hey.
The straight-to-TV sequel.
The straight to DV sequel. I had some baklava today.
I love baklava.
From this local Indian restaurant called Baba Ganoush.
Baba Ganoush.
And it was so fucking good.
Damn, I really wish I had some baklava.
I am thinking about going and just walking into the restaurant, ordering baklava, and leaving.
You should.
Beastmaster! This version of the Beastmaster is better than the original Beastmaster, but only marginally, and is nowhere close to how fun and cool the Tasha's Beastmaster is.
Right. Lord and Savior Tasha just made everything better. It's hard to compare to her.
I fucking cannot believe that by removing spells, we are losing the best fucking thing ever, which was that they are spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no more of that. You can't
just lost it.
Summon a cool spirit anymore. I don't understand, and I don't like it, and it's boring now.
How very dare they?
So I'm just going to move past it. It's better than the original, but I just don't care. I just don't care. You get an animal companion, and you can do pretty cool stuff with it, but also, I just don't care. It is good. I mean, it's good. I'm not going to say it's not good, but I'm not excited by it. I'm sure people who love animal companions would have a great time with this subclass, but it just
it's not exciting.
Animal Whisper. At 3rd level, you gain proficiency in animal handling. Exceptional training. You can use the help action instead of the dodge action for your companion. Bestial Fury. It can make 2 attacks. Share Prey. Hunter's Prey benefits on your dog. That's it. All of these are 1 or 2 sentences. I think that's part of it, is there's no flavor in this class.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very bare bones. Let's move on to the Gloom Stalker, baby.
Gloom Stalker.
You've played one, so tell me what you think about this new version.
I did play Gloom Stalker. I mean, it's more or less the same, but without the magic. I feel like a lot of the use that I got out of Gloom Stalker did happen to come from some of the magic shit that we got. Like, we got Disguise Self, and when you're playing a stealth character in a more political intrigue campaign, that gets a lot of use. But I understand a lot of people really get a lot of use out of that.
I am sad about the loss of Rope Trick.
I am also sad about the loss of Rope Trick, because Rope Trick is a really fun spell, and it's useful sometimes. When it's useful, it's useful.
It's fun in the way an immovable rod is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow Sense replaces Iron Mind, and I prefer Iron Mind.
I also prefer Iron Mind, because Iron Mind is very useful, actually, always.
Yes,
because
it's just flat proficiency in wisdom saving throws.
And wisdom saving throws will make or break you.
Yes, any enchantments that they're trying to do are wisdom or charisma, and if you already have wisdom saving, you can then pick charisma. Shadow Sense is cool. You'll never hear me say Blind Sight isn't dope, and I like to imagine that it is echolocation. You can even focus on vibrations and give yourself tremor sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very cool. I'm glad it's here. But personally, I prefer Iron Mind.
Right.
In terms of mechanics.
And also,
flavor-wise, I do prefer Shadow Sense.
Flavor-wise, I do prefer Shadow Sense, but the fact is that I don't feel like a lot of DMs create situations where Blind Sight will be useful.
That's also true.
And I think that's a crying goddamn shame.
Most people who play Rangers are playing elves or half-elves. This is a fact of life. We can't change it, even though I fucking hate elves. And that means you have dark vision already. And So very rarely are you going to be blinded or facing invisible things, which is the only time this will be useful.
Right. And, like, even if you were playing, like, not an elf or a half-elf and you didn't have dark vision already, you already got it from Umbral Sight.
Yes. Monster Slayer has Iron Mind.
Yeah. I'm just saying we were robbed.
I mean,
Gloom Stalkers.
I still like Shadow Sense. I don't want to say I don't like Shadow Sense. Although, maybe you take out either Blind Sight or Tremor Sense, add it to, and just toss it onto Umbral Sight.
Right.
But anyway, Monster Slayer is mostly the same. It's the same as the Gloom Stalker. The only thing that's really different is the 7th level feature. The original one, Supernatural Defense, lets you add 1d6 to a saving throw whenever Slayer's Prey happens. Oh shit! Wait, no, this is different. I'm an idiot. We talked about this in our preliminary recording. Monster Slayer is actually pretty different. Instead of Hunter's Sense, which lets you determine things like damage rolls, immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, you still have that, except now you have to roll an intelligence check for it, which I think is just flat worse. But at the same time, you also deal additional damage on your first weapon attack every turn. So it's like, yeah, it's harder. It's a balanced change. It's not better or worse. It's different. You have Arcana and Religion proficiency, which is great because it means you don't have to put any points to Intelligence if you don't want to. And it's balanced in that you do have to make an Intelligence check to figure out if the creature has immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, but you also gain increased damage. I think I like that more. Supernatural Defense was cool, just a 1d6 to escape a grapple or a saving throw, but it relied on a feature called Slayer's Prey, which this version of the Monster Slayer doesn't have. So having Iron Mind makes sense here. Like if you're fighting some kind of creature that works with enchantment, you're immune to it now. Not immune, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I actually do think I prefer this Monster Slayer, ignoring the qualms about Gloom Stalker not having Iron Mind anymore.
Yeah, this class is pretty cute. I cannot lie. I personally have never played a Monster Slayer, so I don't really have a point of reference, but it smells good.
What? What does that mean?
It smells good.
Okay. Herbalist. We are both obsessed with this subclass.
This subclass is sex incarnate.
What's the thing that you always say on the internet?
Sex, money, drugs, women?
Sex, money, drugs, women.
Sex, money, drugs, women.
I am obsessed with it. So, the Herbalist class is a new class to this version of the Ranger. Let me just go through. Let's just take turns saying stuff.
Okay.
Do you want to start or should I?
Yeah, I'll start. Okay. So, the first feature that you get at 3rd level is Forager. You half the time you need to find your little herbs for your healing poultices to 30 minutes per day. And the DC for your healing poultices is decreased by 5. And you increase the number of healing poultices that you can make. It goes up to 2 plus your wisdom modifier. Or if you fail, you get half that.
That's really good.
That's really good. That's a lot of healing.
Even if it was just 2 plus your wisdom mod, that's very good. But the fact that the DC is reduced by 5 means that if you're in a forest, you essentially don't even need to roll because the DC is going to be 5.
Right. And
So that's-
it makes it a lot more viable in those like funky little terrains.
Yes, now there's actually a chance you'll get it in a place like a desert.
Or like the Underdark.
And you could be making 5 poultices per long rest. You could end up being the healer.
Yes. And ooh. I do think, contrary to popular belief, this subclass really helps you play into Ranger as a support class, which I
is
feel
something
like
the base Ranger can't really do that.
I feel like it's a like really unsung feature of the Ranger to like be able to be a supporting class, because I love playing support, but Ranger does not make that very easy.
Correct. Level 3 Herbal Adept. Add your Wisdom modifier to the healing provided by your poultices, and your proficiency bonus is doubled for any check you make with an Herbalist kit, and you get Medicine proficiency if you didn't already have it, and if you did, double your proficiency bonus when you make a Medicine check. Hell yes.
God, that's hot.
An extra few points to the healing is great.
Mm-hmm.
Proficiency with Medicine is great. It's good and I like it.
I love it. At 7th level, you get Resilient Constitution. You get proficiency in con saving throws, and you get advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. I mean, poison, I feel like we said before, poison can be like a really fucking dicey thing. So something that'll like help you not get poisoned, and if you get poisoned, it helps you potentially not get completely fucked over. I don't know, it's kind of cute.
I like it. I said earlier I like anything that adds to the bulk of the non-bulky class. Poisoner, I don't give a shit about Poisoner.
I think that poisons can be really fun if you have a fun DM.
I don't know. I feel like a Poisoner, there is a class, a homebrew subclass I saw out there that if we ever do a class on miscellaneous, if we do an episode on miscellaneous homebrew subclasses, I will include it. I think it was called like Venom Marker, and it was where you...
Ooh, whoa, that's a sick-ass name.
The thing with the class is you like coat your weapons in special oils.
Right, and then you get to tongue.
Huh?
And like stab people, and then they shit.
No.
No?
Just this little tangent. A person I'm in a campaign with made it. It's very cool. You get to coat your weapon in special oils made specifically to damage favored enemies. It's a subclass that expands on the favored enemy feature, giving you bonus damage to your favorite enemies.
Wow.
But another thing you get at level 7, level 3 is, bonus against favorite enemies. Level 7 is Poisoner kit and different poisons you can make. I think Poisoner's kit should be its own thing, personally, although it makes perfect sense for an herbalist,
Yeah.
If you're forging thing,
then you know what's poisonous, and you know what the poisonous things do,
yes.
So...
Flavor-wise, it makes perfect sense, and I love it. Mechanically, I just don't care.
Okay. I understand why you don't. But I do.
Would you like to talk about how combat healer is dope as fuck?
Yes! You can fight and heal almost simultaneously. Whenever you use your action to apply a healing potus, you can make one weapon attack as a part of the same action. I can smear some basil on my buddy who's bleeding out, and I can also palpal cap in someone.
Yes, it's so extremely good because the fact that it costs an action to heal is unfortunate. Lay on hands is a bonus action, and now essentially this is too, except it's better.
Yes.
It's better than that because you can heal someone and attack at the same time and still have a bonus action left over.
And that really helped your action economy, especially at like 11th level where action economy actually becomes important.
And yes, like by 11th level, having to dedicate your entire turn because this ranger doesn't really have any ways of dealing damage as a bonus action. Being able to heal and deal damage in the same turn is a huge change.
Mm-hmm.
And then Herbal Master is healing poultices, remove poisoned, paralyzed, blinded, deafened, frightened, or charmed. And or all of them at once if they have any stacking conditions.
Mm-hmm.
That fucks.
Yeah.
Removing paralyzed.
Removing paralysis, that
and charm.
Damn.
Removing it from someone who's charmed.
Charm.
Removing it from someone who's charmed could be an issue because they could be ordered specifically to stay away from you. But it's still good if you can get your hands on them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Just any of these, if you can get them off, then that really preheats my oven. I just love this subclass. I just really love this subclass.
That really the opposite of grinds my gears.
Yeah. If I were to play Martial Ranger, this is if I were to play Martial Rangers, this would probably be the top option for me to play. Cuz it's just so cute.
I think without a doubt, this should become a regular Ranger subclass, and Agender Arcee should work for Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, Forager would change to Natural Healer just to make, like, because you can't have a buff to an ability that you don't have yet.
Yeah.
But still, I would love to play a Ranger with spellcasting and this. And be able to dedicate all of my learned spells to other stuff. Outrider.
Outrider.
Just a Cavalier.
It's a Cavalier.
It's a Ranger Cavalier. Can I just say, flavor-wise, I do love this.
Yeah.
Halfling Ranger riding a Mastiff through the woods with a bow and arrow. Fucks. But mechanically, it's just... You now have a mount, and you get better at using it as you go. There's a lot of places in D&D where a mount, you just have to leave it behind. I can't take my horse into this abandoned castle. So the fact that there will be situations where you just can't benefit from any of your subclass features unless you are playing a small creature riding a medium creature. Mm-hmm. That sucks. It's just a Cavalier, and you lose the ability to use certain features. Like, if you're a medium-sized character, you have to be riding a large-sized creature. Mm-hmm. Like a horse. Well, horses aren't large-sized, but you know what I mean. A horse is pretty big. You can't take it into a lot of dungeons.
Right.
So there will be situations where you are not benefiting from this subclass. I mean, the art shown is a cool, sexistly designed ranger riding a big wildcat in the jungle, and that's dope. But I'm just not crazy about this subclass. What's your thoughts on Trapper, bud?
Trapper, I like the idea.
I feel like it's got an artificer kind of flavor.
Can you get out of my head? Because I feel like it's a really good idea, but I feel like it shouldn't be a ranger subclass.
See, here's my thing, is artificers are all about building stuff, yes.
Yes. But
I do think this should be a ranger subclass because I don't know.
Trapping your prey, I get it.
Flavor-wise, yes. Mechanically, it would fit better on an artificer. Let's explain what this subclass does. If you're not reading along with us, it would be kind of confusing. At 3rd level, you gain proficiency with Tinker's Tools, and you learn to craft 2 snares. So a snare is an item that you create and plop down in a 5-foot square. It takes a minute to make, and it has a saving throw equal to what would have been your spell save DC. And you can create stuff to, capture a creature, lower its dexterity by, crippling its movements, mark it so that you can track it easily, just deal damage, knock it prone, that kind of thing. And also find, traps in a dungeon you're in. And then later on, you can make them as an action instead of a minute. You can do stuff with nets and bolas, which is like, okay. And then you get like more advanced snares, and you double the amount you can make. It's all about setting traps. And I don't know that it works with the way that I play a ranger. But that doesn't mean it couldn't work for someone.
Yeah, if you can make it work, then more power to you. You're stronger than I am.
And I love the flavor of a ranger who is less focused on actively attacking and more focused on like forethought and planning out creatures. I really like that.
It makes sense. I would just like it better with the artificer, I think.
That makes sense, but I respectfully disagree.
And it's okay to disagree.
Warden!
It's
just spellcasting, baby.
Spellcasting.
You get Druidic Warrior. You get some spellcasting up to level 4 spells.
You get cantrips.
You get cantrips. Primeval Awareness comes back. Vanish comes back. You auto-learn Speak with Plants. It's better at spellcasting than a base ranger, plus you get Healing Poultice. Mm-hmm. If I'm not playing Herbalist, I'm probably going to play this one.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty cute.
It's better at spellcasting than the base class, which is insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything else to say.
Do you want to move on to Bounty Hunter?
I want everyone to know that this is a good class. Bounty Hunter. This is your passion.
Yeah, if I'm not playing Herbalist, I'm playing Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter fixes a problem which I've had ever since I started playing Ranger, and that is the fact that there is no urban favored terrain. Bounty Hunter is essentially made around an urban favored terrain.
You even get urban as a terrain.
Yeah.
Which we talked about, political intrigue in like urban campaigns. Mm-hmm. Rangers are kind of fucking worthless in those.
Exactly. Speaking as someone who played a ranger in a very political intrigue campaign, Rangers suck in political intrigue campaigns.
And in this subclass, not only do you get urban as a favorite terrain, instead of natural healer being foraging, it's now where to buy herbs. Mm-hmm. So you can still do stuff when you're in a city. It just costs a little bit of money. And you gain investigation skills. You're like a cool detective.
You're like a fucking detective! Isn't that so fucking sexy?
It's very, very cool.
The flavor of this class just...
Paranoid Vigilance. You get advantage on initiative rolls and can't be surprised in combat. You have advantage on attack rolls against creatures that are surprised. You get the ability to do sneak attacks like a rogue. Mm-hmm. And if you are hit with a weapon attack by a creature you can see at 15th level, you can use a reaction to make an attack right back.
It is so good.
This is perfect also, even if you're not in an urban environment, for just like a grizzled loner ranger.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of ranger I'm interested. I'm currently playing a fucking eco-terrorist. But I love it. I wouldn't play it, but I respect that it exists so much.
Yeah. Because it needed to exist.
It solves a big problem, which is that rangers are kind of worthless in specific settings. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the Horizon Walker. Look at how they massacred my boy.
Oh, you poor thing.
This is the only one that I can look at and say that I think it's a flat, like, just nothing but downsides.
This ain't it, sis.
It gives you the ability to change your favorite terrain, which is something that I, as a DM, just let my rangers do. Uh-huh. Because your campaign isn't going to stay in one place.
Yeah.
In the same way martial versatility works, when you reach a level where you could change your fighting style, you can also change your favorite terrain. But, I mean, exploit weakness is cool. Increases your damage die for your hunter's mark, which is necessary. Slayer is a cool feature at 11th level. Extra attack against favorite enemies. Planar Wanderer is pretty cool. You get to pick one additional favored terrain for like an outside of your world terrain. Elemental Chaos, Feywild, Limbo, Lower Plains, Mechanus, Shadowfell, Upper Plains. And they're all cool. They're as good as the other favored terrain bonuses. But this is not the Horizon Walker. This is not my son. This is not my beautiful wife, and this is not my beautiful house.
It's like microwave fish.
The Horizon Walker was specifically built around the 7th and 11th level features. Detect Portal is worthless. Planar Warrior is pretty damn good because it's a free 1d8 extra force damage once per turn as a bonus action. But Ethereal Step and Distant Strike make the subclass. Mm-hmm. As a bonus action, you can cast Etherealness without expending a spell slot. Distant Strike, you can use an attack action and then teleport 10 feet before each attack. So you can teleport between strikes and vanish between planes. In this version of the subclass, you don't get that feature until level 15, and it's just you can cast Misty Step once per short rest, Dimension Door once per long rest, teleport or plane shift once every week. It's not the same. Misty Step, you don't... I would spend, if I were a Horizon Walker, every spell slot I wasn't spending on Hunter's Mark on Misty Step. Mm-hmm. It's such a fun spell, and I'm sorry I'm dominating the discussion of this subclass.
No, this is your alley.
I want to play a Horizon Walker. I'm currently playing a Fey Wanderer. I also am going to play a Swarm Keeper. Horizon Walker is my third favorite Ranger subclass, and the Misty Step is the reason for that. Mm-hmm. I understand why they removed the force damage. Although I think that the Hunter's Prey bonus you get from Exploit Weakness should be force damage. Mm-hmm. But look how they massacred my boy.
They massacred your baby.
I mean, it's still a fine subclass, but it's not the same. This isn't my Horizon Walker. You want to talk about the subclasses that didn't come back?
Yes. Fey Wanderer and Swarm Keeper.
I'm currently playing a Fey Wanderer. It's a great subclass that lets your ranger act as a face for the party, giving you persuasion, proficiency, psychic damage, you get like charm person and disguise self. It's like bard elements on a ranger, and it's very cool, and I love it. And I think it could have worked with the martial ranger. Proficiency and persuasion, psychic damage for Hunter's Mark, maybe give it like proficiency with a disguise kit or Fey as a free favorite enemy. I understand why this subclass didn't come back, because it's another one that's very heavily magic. Mm-hmm. But it's a good subclass, and I think it could have worked.
Yeah. I
would rather see this return than fucking the Hunter.
The Hunter.
How do you feel about Swarm Keeper?
I miss her. I miss her.
Swarm
Every night I think about her.
It's my favorite Ranger subclass.
Yeah, I am so excited to one day play a Ranger again, because I just fucking love the idea of Swarm Keeper. It's
It has to be. I honestly want to play multiple Swarm Keepers. Yeah. One could be a beekeeper. One could be surrounded by like butterflies, hummingbirds. You could have like a plague doctor surrounded by rats.
You could have will-o-wisps.
Will-o-wisps. There's so much flavor potential, and most subclasses, ranger or otherwise, don't give you that much control over the flavor.
Right.
So it's a huge deal. Swarmkeeper's bonuses: Gathered Swarm, being able to move enemies and deal extra damage, being able to disperse into your swarm or gain temporary flying speed from it. That's so cool. I understand also why this one didn't come back, which is that the flavor of the Swarmkeeper class is that your creatures are ethereal.
Or magic. But, like,
so this would have to be a physical swarm, but that still would be dope.
Like, if they could do that for Beastmaster, Beast Boy, whatever.
Yeah, so
then I feel like they could do it for Swarmkeeper.
I love Swarmkeeper. I miss her every day. And I definitely think that it should be a subclass.
Swarmkeeper.
I miss her. But I mean, the subclasses we gained are still fantastic.
Yeah.
Herbalist is great, Bounty Hunter is great, Warden is great. But I miss my Swarmkeeper little baby.
Yeah.
It's not the same without her. I would give the subclasses, honestly, the same score I gave the class itself,
B+.
a B+.
Yeah.
I miss what we lost, including Horizon Walker.
But I love what we got.
Especially the Herbalist.
Oh, fuck.
It's very good.
It's
quite good.
Really sexy.
So if you like Rangers but have always felt that even after Tasha's you just weren't getting what you wanted, and you have a chill DM, play this class.
If you hate spells...
Like me?
If you hate spells, this is the class for you.
I am hoping that someday I get to play it.
You hate spells, but you love Ranger.
Correct.
Or if you want to love Ranger, which you all should.
Yes, also that. So hopefully I get to play it one day.
She cute. I like her.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say. Great all around.
Cool.
Very happy with it despite our nitpicks. I hope you found this informative or entertaining or both or neither.
I hope you hated this.
If you're still listening and you didn't find it informative or entertaining, that's cool. That's cool too.
If you're still listening and you didn't find it informative or entertaining, I don't know. That's kind of fan behavior.
So draw fan art of two people you don't know what they look like and play this Ranger and bug your DM about it.
Yeah.
I feel like we should say something to end this out, yeah?
Is this going on YouTube?
Probably. I'm probably just going to put up a
sure
picture
to
of like
comment, and subscribe for more.
I'm going to stop recording. I don't want you to keep saying this shit. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.